So today I'm going to show you how to use USASpending.gov to identify federal prime contractors in 10 minutes. These are going to be our topics today, which is why should you research, what should you research, and navigating USA spending. And then lastly, understanding the recipient profiles when we're looking at them. So researching helps you to identify those opportunities and those threats. You want to be able to identify them. You want to be able to identify what the buyer customer needs and therefore better understand what the buyer needs. And when you identify your competitors, you're able to compare your services or the product to theirs. So potentially gaining an understanding if your business is providing the best service to the buyer's needs. And if not, it definitely helps in identifying those ways where you'll be able to improve that. When you're looking at your competitors or your teammates, we've listed here some things that you should look for, which is like the set-asides, the size of the business, their customers, the location. I mentioned before, if you're on the East Coast, not able to provide those services, maybe there are opportunities on the East Coast as well. When you're looking for your partners or competitors, are they providing services on the East Coast? If they're providing services on the West Coast and unable to provide services on the East Coast, that's something that you would look at in terms of being your competitor. They're not really a competitor because they're not over in your region, or in terms of being a partner, they're not able to assist your business together with providing services to the potential customer in that region because they're not able to provide that. So you wouldn't really look at them as a teammate. So their DUNS number and also their revenue, the amount of money that they're bringing in. So I'm not going to show you a screenshot of how to navigate it. I'm actually going to show you how to navigate it. You will receive a copy of this presentation, which will show you screenshots of everything basically that I'm going to show you today. But you want to start off on USASpending.gov. And so I'm going to share my page or share my screen so that you can see. And I'm actually going to open up 2 tabs today. Hey, Anna or Curtis, are you able to see my screen?
I could see the website, yes.
Okay, perfect. Okay, I opened up 2 tabs today because I want to show you how to look at recipient data 2 ways. And they all start from here, the front homepage of USASpending.gov. Move this out the way. So you'll start here on our first part, start here on Start Searching Awards. And for today's presentation, I decided to go with a NAICS of 561612, which is janitorial services. So we're going to pretend like my business today is janitorial services. Those are the services that I provide. And now I want to be able to identify if, any agencies, but also Department of Veteran Affairs, that's what buyer. I'm going to identify how many other recipients are actually being awarded contracts. So I'm looking at my competitors and potential partners. So on the left-hand side, there's a filter section. And in the filter section, keywords. So for example, if you don't know what your NAICS code is, you could type in the specific service or the specific product. There's also a time period. It goes all the way up to 2008. But you can also look at most current data if you just go ahead and select that information. There's also a filter box for the date range. So for the agency, you can select if you're looking for specific recipients that are doing business with a specific, if you're looking for recipients that are doing business with a specific agency, you could select here. So for today, I'll type in Veteran Affairs. So for Department of Veteran Affairs, I'm looking at the competitors or potential partners. Then I'm going to go down to NAICS code. And I'm going to type in my NAICS code, 561610. Sometimes it goes slow. Interesting, it's not coming up, which is fine, because I'll just type in here using the keyword janitorial services and then hit submit search. So it's a good way to show you when you type in the keyword, how it'll still pull up the information for you. So if you want to make sure that you are searching when you're using a keyword for the correct information, you're looking at the right contracts. Here at the top, 2 active filters, you'll see keyword, janitorial, and awarding agency, Department of Veteran Affairs. When you click on categories, there are 4 different sections. 4 different tabs: awarding agency, recipient, assistance listing, and industry code. When you click on industry code, you can actually search by the product service code or the NAICS code. And so what I'm looking for is to make sure I typed in the correct code for janitorial services. So give me 1 second, I'm sorry. $17.20. Okay, so I typed in the incorrect code. All right, so I'll go back. And on here, it lists it gives you your NAICS code. So for those individuals that are on the call today, if you don't even know what your NAICS codes are, you could just type in the service and it'll provide the information for you, the product service code or the NAICS code for you. What I'm going to do is go back here, 561720. Excuse me. And we're going to search for that code. And so if you want, you can select reset search and it'll reset everything for you. You don't have to go back out and come back in. And we're going to search for Veteran Affairs. There we go, 561720. So now I'm going to submit the search. And I'm going to go back to where we start off at, which is at the table. And when the information pulls up, what you will see is that it has the recipient's name, it has the award information. And so this is how you're able to find your competitor or a potential partner. Now, when you click on their name, because you can also click on the award ID, and I'll click on that first. When you click on the award ID, it lists the information. The contact information for the recipient is at top, but it's also, if you scroll all the way down to the bottom, the recipient details, it'll tell you whether or not if for those veteran business owners, if the recipient is a veteran business owner, or if the recipient is a woman-owned business, excuse me, the acquisition details, competition details, all of that information is listed down here at the bottom for the recipient. But this page here is specifically speaking about that contract. So if you want to know more about the contract, for example, here where it has the product service code, and let me scroll down to the bottom. Over here on the left-hand side, the agency details, the parent award details, because the agency, like for example, Department of Veteran Affairs or Health and Human Services, they all have different offices within those offices. Those sub-agencies is what they have listed here. And so those are the agencies that you'll be looking at, not just the main, what I call the main agency, which is like Department of Veteran Affairs or DOD. So going back to speaking about the recipient, when you click here, this is a way to find out additional information about your recipient and continuing to do the research. Yes, since this is being recorded, the recording will be uploaded. I saw that a question came in about the steps on how to navigate USA spending. So yes, the recording will be made available, and then the presentation will have some screenshots. It's not going to go as detailed as what I'm doing now, but again, that's why we're providing you with the recording as well. So if we were to go back to the main page where it says recipient name, let's click on this recipient. When we click on this recipient information, we're able to see total awarded. Again, the same information that we saw on the previous page. So there are multiple ways to see this information, but you can also see transactions over time. You can also see the agencies that they are doing business with, that they've received awards with, not just the main agencies, as I call it, but also those sub-agencies. And then also it includes all of their NAICS codes, the countries they work in, and so forth and so on. So when I scroll up to the top, here in this section where it says, come back, here in this section where it says trailing 12 months, you can actually click on here for fiscal year, and you can look specifically at a fiscal year to see how this business was doing. So since I'm using this business as an example, if I was to say, let me go back to 2015, how much money were they awarded? And you see this information here in in fiscal year 2015. This is how much money this business was awarded. Here over here on this side is the business types. If I was to click on, let's just say in 21, you see how the information changes. So going to the second way, and I don't want to just end there. So once you have this information, this is going to help you to be able to identify, when we talk about competitors, we're not saying those big, smaller businesses, depending on the size of your business, depending on the revenue that your business makes. That is how you want to compare your business to your competitor. When you're looking at it in terms of your competitive analysis, your competitor, what they're bringing to the table. If you're only able to, work on projects for 10,000, you definitely don't want to look at as a competitor, a business that's able to work on a project that's 250,000. So you look at those businesses that are being awarded, those contracts for the amount, I would say the revenue range of, the amount that your business is able to successfully perform on a contract. You definitely don't want to say, oh, well, I'm not ready. Let's just say I'm not ready to do business with VA because this company over here, is working on this project, but there may be a project that's less than that, basically is what I'm trying to say. So going back to the homepage, because that was one way to identify competitors or potential partners. The other way is here at the home screen, explore the data, and there's a list that says recipients, a tab that says recipients. When you click on recipients, the information is here and it's broken down into the parent recipient, the child recipient, and then it says recipient. And basically the parent recipient is just saying that it's the main organization. And the child is saying that it's a child recipient because it has listed that it has a parent organization. And when you look at recipient information, it's stating that it does not have a parent recipient listed for that business. And so on the left-hand side, you'll see how you see P, C, or R for those businesses. So when you're looking at those businesses, you're able to identify the type of the business. And then it also lists the business UEI, the DUNS number, and then the awarded amount. And all of this information is located in here. So now I'm going to stop sharing my screen. And I'm going to come back to see if we have any questions. Is there a place where I can find definitions of a business type? I'm trying to clarify if foreign-owned parent company can have a sub-company in the U.S. as a small business or a disadvantaged business, etc. Hey, Anna, are you able to help me out with this question?
So a full company ownership information will be on SAM. You could look at, you could search entities, and we'll get into that a little bit when we do a SAM, but a foreign-owned subsidiary of a US-based company, I'm dissecting it a little bit. If a small business have a place of business in the US, it could still be small. So foreign-owned does not mean it's not small, but it has to have a location in the US. So there are a lot of grays and complexity to that question. I hope this helps, but feel free to email us offline and we could dive into it further.
Thank you, Anna. So I see that there was a question about this session. Is it a continuation of the session from Tuesday? It is a part of the market research series, and I'm trying to log in to show everyone just in case. you did not register for the sessions when the announcement went out for the series. Let's see.
I did post a link to the series in the chat.
Thank you. I've been having a few issues with the internet, so I apologize, everyone. It's taking me a little bit to open up the site. Okay, there we go. I'm going to share my screen again. Okay, and this is the market research series. So today's training and the training that we hosted on Tuesday, those are little nuggets. We consider those trainings little nuggets before we dig deeper into market research. So after today, the next training that's coming up, data mining, federal contracting, you'll look at those current opportunities, how to look at those current opportunities, and these are our longer trainings. This is going to include a lot more information. Right now, we want to make sure, especially since we're at the beginning of the quarter, we want to make sure that we're providing everyone with the resources, right? Because we have NVSBE that's coming up next week, and for those businesses that will be at NVSBE, this is going to help you prepare when you sit down and speak with those potential buyers, already knowing what exactly are they looking for, instead of what might happen is coming to the table and asking that buyer to tell you what exactly do they need. You'll save on that time. So knowing who the buyer is, which was on Tuesday, and then today, knowing how to find your potential partner. I mean, it varies different ways that you can form partnerships. We actually hosted training on that as well. I mean, joint ventures, contract teaming agreements, a prime or a sub relationship, all those different opportunities may present itself for your business. So kind of understanding how to identify those potential partners is good. How to also, networking sessions or these events, these business opportunity sessions are also a way to identify your potential partners. So I'm looking in the chat. So I am going to go a little slower because I want to make sure I don't miss anything. I saw there were a few questions in the chat, maybe. Can you select a specific GSAE library category? Anna, are you able to help me with that?
Yes, GSAE libraries will be covered in the session dealing with GSA. So
I saw you answer
that one.
Thank you. Scrolling down, I saw you answer that.
Yeah, I tried to catch some of them.
Thanks, open more questions, but I would email. Okay, yes, please, if you have any questions, please do email us. One more question. In the recipient's profile, the name company is sometimes listed as PR or C. How does this happen? Okay, and I've responded to that. P is parent, so that's the main company, but with those parent companies, they do have those child companies, and so that's what the C is for, the child company or a sub company. And so those companies you'll see with a C. And then a company that did not list that their business was a main company or even a child is listed as a R.
And the R are usually recipients of loans or grants. For example, the payment protection program or the PPP loan companies that are not government contractors, because they receive money from U.S. entities during COVID, they're listed as recipients. So just ignore them for contracting purposes.
Hey, Anna, there's a question that says the event next week, is it only for veteran-owned businesses?
It is not. It is obviously the majority of the companies there, and our number one priority for set-asides are veteran-owned and SDB OSBs, but it is open to any vendor that wants to participate.
Pull this out so I can see.
There's
I reach out? Oh. I'm sorry.
Catching a question from Kim about, no, I'm sorry, from Cheryl. How current is this information and is it only primes? USA Spending pulls from SAM, so it is as current as agencies submit their data based on obligations. I would say it's about 3 months behind, and it does the reports that you were able to see include only prime contracts. When we download the data, and we'll be talking about it in January, you could get subcontracting information as well, but it's not displayed very well.
And there was a question, can I reach out to a procurement representative directly for business if I'm a small woman-owned business? I'm not a veteran-owned business. So that really depends. When you're reaching out to the procurement representative, are you speaking about the buyer? Or are you speaking about a recipient, for example, subcontracting with a prime? If you're speaking about a buyer, I would recommend that you work with, for example, here at VA, work with your small business liaison. Look for those opportunities definitely on SAM. But if you want to speak about your visibility, and I'll show that in a second. I mean, if you want to speak with them just to get your business visible to the buyer and to the agency, I do recommend inputting your information on Pathfinder, and I'll show you that information. And Anna or Curtis, if you could go ahead and just put that in the chat too, just in case, so they don't have to wait for tomorrow. And so also, with you not being a veteran-owned business, VA does do business with vendors that are not veteran-owned, but that's what this part of the whole market research is being able to identify, depending on your service or the product you're providing, is the market, or is let me just stick with VA so is VA solely buying whatever service it is or product with veteran-owned businesses? For example, with your competitors, since we're talking about recipients today, if you have 500 competitors that are providing the same service and product that you're providing, and those, let's just say about 250 of them are veteran-owned businesses, that helps you to be able to identify, is there an opportunity for your business to be able to do business with VA with providing that specific service in whatever the region may be? It's various different factors. And if not, like, for example, like I showed today, going on USA Spending and not even putting in an agency, just putting in the service. There was also a section, I'm at the agency, and yeah, I'm sorry, not putting in an agency, just putting in your NAICS code or your product service code. And then you can also look at set asides as well to see where those opportunities for a woman-owned business, which agency is spending the most money. That'll help you to be able to identify which agency to target, or as a buyer, or which competitor or potential partner to work with. So I hope that answers your question. I know that was really long. Are there any upcoming events in Atlanta? No, I know other agencies. Oh, I'm sorry, Anna, I already saw that you posted that. So Anna did, for everyone else, if you're not able to see with the Q&A, there is an upcoming AA conference in Atlanta, which is in February. So the AA Association, if you actually just use your search engine and type that information in there, it'll pull up that information. Are you okay with some of the attendees trying to market their services versus being a real attendee who's interested in being a vendor to the government or the VA? Not really sure.
I could jump in.
Okay, thank you. Because I didn't know if they were trying to market in the chat or something.
There are a number of companies that attend these webinars. For we have the hope and expectation that everybody's getting the information that you need. If there's something that you disagree with, just let it go. If it's something that you think is offensive or somehow is against the rules, please let us know and flag it. But we are not making any endorsements of anything in the chat. And many companies attend because they want to find teaming opportunities and subcontracting opportunities. So to the effect that any info is useful, use your business judgment and discretion to follow up on it. If it is not useful, then, you know, pass on by. Thank you.
Thank you, Anna. And I see there was a question about the Pathfinder link. So I put the Pathfinder link back in the chat for everyone. Yes, I did. I put the Pathfinder link in the chat. Okay. And I see I've answered all the questions in the Q&A. We have 2 minutes left. It's very difficult to search for the questions. I'm sorry, everyone in the chat. It makes it much easier in the Q&A, but I want to make sure I didn't miss anybody questions. So if you do still have any questions with 2 minutes that we have left, please go ahead and put it in the Q&A if we missed your question. If you don't feel comfortable with asking a question today in the chat or in the Q&A, you can always email us, and I'll go ahead and type that in the chat at osdbustratcom@va.gov. And so this is going to be a part, and move on to the next slide, prioritizing your findings. Basically, when you gather this information about those competitors and recipients, you can use Post-its. I love using Post-its, but if Post-its is not for you, you can use like a Microsoft Office application, anything that you like to use to basically organize your thoughts, organize what your next steps are going to be once you've identified those competitors and or potential partners. And this is a reminder for everyone that National Veteran Small Business Engagement is next week. It will be happening between Tuesday, November 7th through the 9th, Tuesday to next Thursday. This is the information that will be sent out to you tomorrow. These are useful links. Just want to highlight Pathfinder Vendor Tool. That's a market research tool that Department of Veteran Affairs has. I highly recommend, if you want to make sure that your business is visible during that market research phase, that you go ahead and submit an interest form. And I see we had potentially, okay, nope, Anna, you answered it. All right, we are at 2:30. I want to thank everyone for joining today. I hope you have a wonderful Thursday, a good weekend, and hopefully we'll see you next week. Please stop by our booth if you will be at MVSBE, and you'll receive all this information tomorrow.